not too bad. Works out really well. So that's pretty good right there. That's another tank pretty much done. Let's get that glass wiped down though. Again, I always go to this guy. I love it because I get more of a personal spot where it's going to be. I know what pressure to use on there. And I use this palm to watch for anything that I miss, like these spots here. See, now they're gone. So it's a good way to do it, just flat palm, good surface area. And you'll catch anything on your palm, you'll feel it sticking away from the glass if you have any growths on there. And because we don't use heaters in all of our tanks, we have a lot of evaporation in this room because we heat the room and not so much the tanks. We sometimes have lines, calcium lines on our tanks. But one of the other things too is that the room is slanted. This room was built out of an old stable, so we don't always have a level tank on some tanks. The two sidewalls are, this side and the other side are level, but these two are usually a little off. So that's good right there. Going on 35 minutes now from the beginning of the video, and we have just a couple more tanks to go. I mean, what, 3, 6? We should be all right. Let's take a minute. So another great tool I have is my step ladder. Let's get started on this jewel tank. Before we get up there, let's grab our pad because we know we're going to need this. Let's take a look here. Definitely a mess. And you know, as you saw the recent video we posted on the filters, we just replaced that filter, so it should be pretty good. These guys have had about 5 clutches this year, so this water's gotten a load, quite the bio load. We're going to start hitting it a little bit harder here. We've got fires nearby, so I can hear the helicopters flying over, chopper and thundering. And it's always good to do a frequent water change, especially after clutches, because you're getting a lot of volume of waste built up after those babies are come in. That's an additional 300 little lives growing and being in that water and creating waste. No matter how small it is, they're still creating it. And your food increases, your waste increases from the food, so you always want to stay up on your tanks, especially during clutches, during breeding seasons. Some breeding tanks you just have zero substrate, it's just a glass bottom, which is, you know, most standard uses, but it's not a necessity. I just let my fish live their lives, and if they breed, we do pretty well. We're going to try to add some breeding racks later on, sometime down the line once we have some more room. So let's take a look here. Now we can move that out of the way. It's kind of hard because I don't have my little film crew buddies here today, my sons. So we're going to take a little bit of water out of this back tank. This is just a little hospital tank I have going back here. It's kind of a quarantine. I got 2 quarantines and 2 custom filtration, or 2 custom styrofoam tanks on this rack. So I got to do a little bit of cleaning on these guys, get them ready for any new fish you might have coming in. And it's good to have a dedicated, either a dedicated quarantine tank or hospital tank for new fish coming into your fish room or your fish stock or your tank for at least 4 to 6 weeks. You want to make sure they're not going to have any diseases, anything that they're not showing in their transportation. They can still cause a lot of damage, even if they look healthy. Alright, so now that I'm realizing I should be using something shorter, this will go a lot easier. I'm just going to do a quick little vacuum on these 10 gallons. Just get some of that gravel all aerated and mixed up, get that yucky mulm out. This is a custom background styrofoam. This one's the first one I did with the epoxy seal. It's actually pretty good. This tank's doing really well. And then we'll go over here to fire mouth. This is Inferno. Wow, everybody's doing really good. Nobody's stressing out today. Around here, you know your cave's right there, buddy. I'm not trying to knock it over. Some more rocks over there. Alright, that's pretty good for him. And then one last hospital tank or quarantine tank over in the center. This one's got nobody in it, so we're just kind of doing a quick substrate, little cleansing, little suckage, change out some water. They're all running air systems, all running on air systems. The air system that we have a single 4-outlet unit over here, and then we have on the other side of the room in the corner over there, we have 5 piggyback, so that they're pushing from both sides of the room. And then we can equalize it on both sides. It really makes it a lot more efficient. It's a cheap way to run multiple tanks, running a filtration system off of air. So I highly recommend using an air system, a sponge system. Some of our tanks have, like this one here, you can see it's got a back-mounted filter. It's also got the under gravel filter. And then we have an under gravel filter unit. Kind of weird. Most people haven't probably thought of this, but we do it on a couple of the tanks that I've done. Is an under gravel filter paired up with the back filter. So that back filter right here, which is running lava rock for filtration, is piped into the under gravel system, so it draws from down this way back into that tube and up and through the filtration and back out. So the last tank, the final tank, it's been 41 minutes. Wow, we're doing really well. We don't probably have to clean him, but we should. We're gonna do it anyway. So let's do it, and we'll be done. Well, still gotta fill. Still gotta fill them back up. But let's go ahead and take a look here. You've done all these tanks. So all we gotta do, look at that, all these tanks. We just gotta finish that one right there and then top everybody off. So let's get you guys in a spot here so you can see real quick. And really, we don't have to do too much with this, so let's take a quickie and see what happens. So far, so good. Man, it's hot up there. So we did it. 505 gallons in less than an hour. All we gotta do is fill them back up. So let's change this guy out. Go back over here. So we're gonna put our feed tube back in. But let's go change that water so that it starts sucking out. So you can see now what we're going to do is going to switch that. And the water's going back into the fish room. So let's go check it out. Well, there you have it. Filling them back up, nice cold fresh water. Everybody's getting happy. So we'll get them settled in after this. And then we'll feed them lunch later on in the day. It's about 1:30 right now, so they'll get lunch probably in about 2 hours. And we'll finish topping everybody off here. Thanks again for watching. That's just a basic cleaning, wipe down the glass, and you know, doing a little bit of a water change. You can do more or less of the water depending on your tank or how dirty it is or what it needs and what your stocking density is. But be sure to take care of your freshwater friends. Make sure you keep it fresh and clean. And again, don't clean your entire tank. That's really bad. You want to keep your biological bacteria, all that beneficial good things. You want them growing in that tank to help you keep a good healthy tank going all the time. You can see they love that fresh water, cold well water. They love it. And you don't want to do that to every fish. You want to slowly do that type of setup. You know, we do a little bit of cold water at a time with the new fish so they get used to that little bit of temperature change. Plus, it can also spur on breeding conditions because of that subtle fluctuation in the water, like when they get rains in their natural habitat. Also, supplying good water change, good water quality will get your spawning capabilities, and overall just a much happier fish. So I'm going to top these off, and I'll try to get you guys a visual of what it looks like when we're all done. So hang on for a moment. So while we got some tanks filling up, I want to take a minute to point out this. If you watch our last video, we built these back filters that mount onto a power head. And you can see this one right here, still working great, our lava rock type. But if you look back here, I don't know if you can really tell, that is the water polishing system we built. And if you remember, this is what it looks like. So if you can actually tell the color difference, you can see quite a bit of difference in color there. And it's not just the water in the glass, it's what it's filtering out. So it's got a beige, almost getting to a little darker beige color. And we have these on hand because when those get nasty in about a couple of weeks, you just change it right out. So that's the other benefit of building those types of bottle filters. So be sure to keep an eye on that when you do your maintenance too. Check your filter media, like this one here. You want to check on we'll have to change that out too soon. And we'll show you guys those in a detailed video one of these days. So right now, I gotta change tanks on what's filling up so I don't overflow. So hold on a moment. Well, everything's going along pretty smoothly. We're just topping off the rest of the tanks and we're pretty much calling it good. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you like what you see here or you learned something. Oh, we gotta move that over. We still have a couple inches, but switch over here. Alright. So again, like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to message me if you have any questions about how to do something. So I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to keep it fresh.